Hey guys, so this video, what you're looking at right now, I think is the biggest summon video for Dokkan on YouTube in terms of the amount of stones used. If I'm wrong, I apologize, but I could not find one that was more stones used in this video. About 7,000 stones were used in this video here. So what I'm going to do, this is actually a format that I use for my legend summon videos quite often, is I'm going to have the video playing in the background at 3x speed, because if it was not in 3x speed, we'd be sitting here for over an hour watching the footage. So I'm speeding up the video to 3 times. That's going to be playing in the background. And what I've done is I've asked on Twitter, what are some of the things you want to see Dokkan improve on? And I'm going to be going through some of the responses that you guys gave me on this thread. I'm not going to be able to go through all of them. There's 723 responses as of right now. So going to be going through some of these, and then I'm going to be reading them off and giving my thoughts on them, and then you guys can obviously feel free to contribute to the discussion down in the comment section below. And also let me know if you guys like this format. I typically, when I do summons on Dokkan banners like this, I either do them on the Twitch stream for the 5-9 Gaming channel, or I just do them off camera, and that's it, right? I've actually been having pretty bad internet issues recently, so I figured, you know, doing them off camera and then coming in with a video like this is a better idea. So let's go ahead and get started here. Let me look for a good question. I'll be right back. Alright, let's see. Alright, I guess we'll just go down the line here. So we got the first one. I'm going to try and not do the same thing multiple times. So this is the very first one that's coming up for me. Add the new story events immediately to the Portal of Memories event, like the story events from the 350 million down celebration. I pulled Int Vegeta / Goku on Super Saiyan God Goku and Hits banner, and I can't awaken him to LR because I don't have the medals. Yeah, that's actually a big issue. I remember that specifically being a big problem back when the, I think it was the LR AGL Spirit Bomb Absorbed Goku released on Global, because they did not bring his story event back for like many months. So people who pulled that unit, you know, in the future on other banners couldn't even awaken him because the medals weren't available. So what they could do is I think I agree with that change, is they could just bring all of the events immediately to the Portal of Memories. But to be fair, you should be farming the medals anyway when the event is out, just so that if you do pull them in the future, you're ready to awaken them. Okay, yeah, this is obviously going to be the major issue here. Or, well, not issue, but major suggestion by people. The friend system, for sure, needs a massive revamp. What do you guys think? Do you think the friend system needs a revamp in this game? I also would love if there was a pity system where you can guaranteed get even just one of the main new unit per banner. Last, they need to revamp World Tournament, just make it different somehow, mix it up. Yeah, I mean, I would agree with all those changes. I think, obviously, the friend system is probably the biggest thing that we're going to see throughout this. I'm going to try not to repeat that like 100 million times, because I guarantee you, like, 70% of the responses I got have to do with the friend system in some way. So that's definitely number one. And then a pity system where you can guaranteed get even just one of the main new unit per banner. I don't think that's a bad idea. I mean, Legends just implemented the new summon coin mechanic. Well, it's not new anymore, but it's fairly new. It came out after the anniversary, so in the past few months, it's a new system. And what you can do in that is actually you can get the new character an unlimited amount of times, granted you summon enough. I don't know if Dokkan would do that, just because they already have the gacha coin mechanic in place, and I think it's actually functioning fairly well. But I think, yeah, maybe if you can grab like one guaranteed new copy of the new unit, that could be a good incentive. But they would have to probably make it a lot. Like, you went, I don't know, 50 multis, because that's what Legends has it at right now. If you go 50 multis without the new character, you can actually just straight up buy them from the summon coin shop. So I feel like in Dokkan, they would have to definitely introduce like a different currency than the gacha coins, because the fear that I have is they would introduce that, and then you would just save up red coins and buy the new unit without summoning at all. So I think if they introduced a way for you to buy the new character, like they'd have to introduce a different currency so that you couldn't just save up and buy the new character without summoning at all. But maybe. And then the World Tournament revamp. I mean, yeah. Does anybody like the World Tournament? The answer is probably no, unless you're a masochist. So. I would agree with the World Tournament revamp, or how about straight up just removing the World Tournament in general? I'm okay with that too. Chain Battle, World Tournament, and Friend System are obvious and are already being shouted to the end, so I would want something that isn't exactly a problem but is just annoying. Bring back the 50% supports, or make them more widely available. what is stopping them from not bringing them back? Yeah, I mean, the only thing I can think of for why they're not, or for why they don't want to bring them back, is it probably has something to do with the banner structure being too easy to pull specific LRs from. That's really the only thing I can think of. I mean, at this point, a lot of the 50% support units, even when they're awakened, aren't like game-breakingly overpowered. Like, look at like AGL Pan, the Int, like Extreme Vegeta. Like, some of the 50% support units just, like, once upon a time were, like, extremely good, but, you know, after 2.5 years, like, they're just not as good anymore, obviously, right? So, I don't know why they haven't brought them back yet. I think what they should do is they should just permanently put them in the blue coin shop at the very least. They should all just be in the blue coin shop permanently. So, when they eventually, you know, periodically release these double raid banners, which they have on JP, and they're going to, you know, soon bring that one to Global, the one that brought the Margarita card, those give blue coins, and you know, that's a way for you to actually purchase the 50% support units. But my original suggestion for those type banners was to just have them always up on rotation. So you know how every single day corresponds to a different typing? Obviously, Monday is AGL, Tuesday is Tech, Wednesday is Int, Thursday is STR, and then Friday is Physical. That's how the hidden potential stages, you know, rotate every week. They should just have the banner for that typing up on the day that it should be up, right? That's just, in my opinion, how they should do it. I don't know why they don't. Let's see. A training mode where you can just run units infinitely would be pretty cool. Yeah, like a target dummy mode. I mean, that's the way that like a lot of YouTubers do showcases, including me, is we just use like, you know, the Legendary Goku event, Infinite Dragon Ball History. Like that is our target dummy mode, right? We just go in there. We don't really care how. We don't really care how like hard the enemies are going to hit for. We don't really care how much HP they have. We just want to be able to go in there, use the units without having to worry about dying. Or like any gimmicks. Like that's the reason why I always go into like the same Infinite Dragon Ball History stages, like the Majin Buu stage, like the Super Warrior Cell Saga stage, right? Because those stages don't have any like, you know, locking super attack ceiling gimmicks. So it's a lot easier to showcase units there. So that would be really helpful for showcases for sure. And I think, yeah, also just to show or just like experiment with different rotations and units like that. A jukebox of some sort would elevate the game to a new level. I mean, that is actually a decent point as well. And I think when you know, a lot of people compare Dokkan to Legends all the time. I think one of the big aspects of Dokkan that has a clear advantage over Legends is the OST. Dokkan's OST is, in my opinion, infinitely superior to Legends OST, and that actually does matter. Right, if you're somebody who's you know, on YouTube or, you know, just like surfing YouTube or whatever, like the Dokkan OSTs can, you know, attract your attention, and that'll get more people to play the game, I think. Right now, Dokkan has an OST that's like good enough to the point where you can use those OSTs outside of even just like Dokkan videos. Like you can use it in the background of other stuff, and that's a way to attract new players into your game. Whereas with Legends, I feel like their OST is not even close to strong enough to be able to like attract players just from that alone. So that, as a marketing tool, the Dokkan OST is actually really good. Whereas with Legends, it's definitely not. So yeah, the jukebox feature I feel like could be cool if you could like choose what song you want to listen to when you're fighting certain stages or doing stuff in the game. I think would be interesting. Maybe a feature that utilizes total box strength, something similar to Grand Crosses that further incentivizes players to awaken and power up all characters and farm the free ones. I would also like a game mode that utilizes most of, if not all of your box, like OG Battlefield. Well, current Battlefield does that too, right? I mean, you still have to pick, what is it, 112 characters to use on your team. I'm not really familiar with how Grand Cross does their box thing, but it sounds interesting. Like you have like a ranking for your box or something. Okay, I can see that. Skip button. It doesn't say what skipping. It doesn't say what it would skip, but I assume he's talking about summon animations. I feel like I talk about the skip button for summon animations like 100 million times, and this video is actually a good example of why the skip button would be very useful. Like, you guys, this took me an hour and a half to record, and it would have been shaved down quite a bit if there was a skip button in this game, similar to how Legends does it. But yeah, I think a skip button could be beneficial. Improve the data download section. You cannot complete the download unless you have excellent network. They should make it like Legends, where no matter the speed of your network, you'll be able to complete the download. There's nothing more annoying than data download failed. I have not personally run into that issue, but I could definitely see how people are frustrated with that. Actually, that's not something that occurred to me, so I'm happy that he mentioned that. They should make a co-op system with friends. It's also really hard for newer players to get into Dokkan because they don't have enough of the necessary units to play the game, so new beginner-friendly content would be nice. I think as the game gets older and older, the biggest thing that the developers need to be conscious of, at least for now, is the barrier to entry for this game, right? And I feel like that's one of the reasons why, for example, Dokkan events have not really gotten like significantly harder over the course of this game being out. Because if you're a new player and you pull the new character, like, you have to Dokkan awaken them somehow, right? And if you have no units to use on your team to go into the Dokkan event with, you're not going to be able to awaken that character, and it's going to feel really bad. So that's definitely, I think, what they've had in mind for newer players, and that's one of the decisions they've made for, well, at least to help out newer players. I mean, the biggest thing we've seen to help out newer players, I think, recently has been the Ginyu Force EZAs for the free-to-play Ginyu Force team. That's like, if you're a new player and you have all the Ginyu Force team done and EZA and stuff like that, like, you're good to go for like every piece of content in the game. But yeah, I definitely think the barrier to entry for newer players is something that they have to continuously monitor as the game gets older, for sure. Let's see. Another Jukebox comment. That's actually pretty... I didn't realize that many people were interested in that feature. Okay. I was thinking about an expansion of the hidden potential with new passive like % attack and defense when using a super attack, sorry. This could be used to bring back old EZAs like Goku, Super Saiyan 3, Broly, that already had an EZA, and there's nothing more to make those units relevant. I mean, I think when you're talking about like units that already have had EZAs and are now like for the second time becoming outdated, at that point it's like, all right, well, they sort of like have already been useful for like a decent amount of time in the game, and it's probably time to just move on, right? That's just how these games work. Let's see. I'd love to see a new goal for units that are on the 3rd slot. A lot of the time, there are a couple of characters you'll have a support or a floater character. They should add a bonus to those characters so you can be more open to team making. I mean, we're definitely seeing that already, right? A good example of that is the God Goku and Hit that just came out. Like, they have extra perks for being in the 3rd slot. And it's not just them either. Like, we have a lot of other characters that do that. Like... How about every single support character? Like, a lot of the support characters in the game are designed to work in slot 3 as a floater, you know, orb changers, attack and defense buffers, units that give key to rotation, stuff like that. But I mean, yeah, also like God Goku and Hit specifically get extra perks for being in slot 3. So I think they're doing that already. It's just built into the passives of these units. Let's see. More endgame in a kind of a weekly schedule. Like changing Legendary Goku event missions every week, or maybe do Pure Saiyans through Battle with only STR types, like events like that. I can see that, yeah, I mean, because like the Legendary Goku event missions, I would say definitely is a good way for them to add extra replayability to these modes that you've already beaten a million times before, right? So if like, they want to do like challenge missions, that would be pretty cool. Yeah, like maybe, yeah, do Saiyan Pure Saiyans through Battle Road with only STR types. That could be interesting. Okay, I could see that. Let's see. A proper pity system, talk about that. Better sales, like a higher % off. I mean, yeah. The sales in Dokkan, I mean, look, I'm not actually going to be able to comment on the sales at all. From an objective standpoint, it's very, very overpriced. But they definitely have, like, research and analyses done on, like, the sales that tell them this is what the optimal price should be. So they definitely have done their homework on that. There's no reason why they shouldn't have analyzed that to some degree. World Tournament Revamp, talked about that. Friend System Revamp, talked about that. Story Mode. I think the story mode is just done. Like, what has it been, like almost 3 years since they updated the story mode? That's the quest mode. I don't know if they have any reason to ever update this quest mode. I mean, the whole point of the quest mode was to just give stones, right, for people. That's really the whole function of what that quest mode is. So all they've done since they stopped updating the quest mode is they just moved those stones that you would have otherwise have received from doing the quest mode to other events, right? And that's it. Like, the quest mode doesn't serve a purpose anymore. Missions regarding rank higher than 500. Yeah, I mean, they'll eventually probably add that. Better in-between celebrations, Dokkan can become rather slow. Yeah, I mean, I guess what he's talking about is, like, we just had the anniversary on Global, we just had the worldwide celebration, you know, the 350 million down celebration to follow the anniversary. But now we're in, like, the Kid Gohan slash, you know, Garlic Jr. slash Goku and Piccolo celebration. And it's like, yeah, not exactly flowing with content right now. So I can definitely understand where he's coming from that. But it's tough because that's just a constant flow of content that they'd have to continue, you know, pumping out. But honestly, they should. Another friend system comment. Making enemy super attacks always visible and scaling the difficulty accordingly. There's nothing more frustrating in this game than having to always guess what the hell the enemy's about to do in an RNG-filled game. That's from our boy Sora. Okay. Making enemy super attack always visible and scaling the difficulty accordingly. So you're talking about just like always having the scouter effect up at all times? That's an interesting concept. I never actually considered that. That would definitely change the game a lot. They would have to revamp all those different effects that showed you the super attack locations because they would become useless at that point. But I guess they would have to just like make every enemy just hit like twice as hard if that was the case, right? I don't know. I'd have to think about that for a little bit longer to really give my thoughts on that, but it's definitely an interesting concept. Maybe a mode. That, to me, that would be a separate mode, right? They would have like I don't know, some new event that comes out like Collection of Epic Battles did, but it'd obviously be its own thing. Where that would probably be the case, right? Just a separate mode where you always know where super attacks are at all times, but it's just like ridiculously hard. That I could see being a cool feature. More original cards. This is actually this is from Air too. Okay, I like that idea. This is something that I've been thinking about a little bit for the 7-year anniversary, because that's something that Dokkan can actually do to like infinitely almost increase its lifespan as a game. I talk about this a lot for the Heroes collab, but I'm like, yeah, like my ideal Heroes unit or Heroes collab unit for Dokkan would be like, you know, Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Super Saiyan Blue Goku as a combination character, a joint forces unit, because we're not going to get that outside of a Heroes collab. But it's like they could do that on their own. Like Dokkan could release a Super Saiyan 4 Goku and a Super Saiyan Blue Goku unit. Like that's their original idea, right? Can't they do that? I don't think they are precluded from being able to do that. So that is something that they could explore. Like I know, like it would be really cool because up until this point, we've had most of the anniversaries in Dokkan pretty much be either GT related or God Key related. You know, God Key being Realm of Gods related. So 2nd anniversary, Super Saiyan 4s. 4-year anniversary, Super Saiyan 4s again. 5th anniversary was fusions, but it was also Realm of Gods, right? Gogeta and Vegeta Blue. Then 6th year we had, you know, Evolution Blue Vegeta and UI Goku. That's 4 anniversaries out of the 6 that were either Super Saiyan 4 related or Realm of Gods related. They could do a celebration, like the 7-year anniversary, where they're sort of combining those two themes together into one, where it's, you know, Realm of Gods versus, like, you know, Primal Instinct, or whatever you want to call it, like the Super Saiyan 4 power, right? Primal Saiyan power versus the Realm of Gods or something like that. And you could do a whole theme around, like, Super Saiyan Blue versus Super Saiyan 4. That's sort of a mini concept that they tried to play with in Heroes for a little bit. And I feel like that actually could be a pretty cool thing in Dokkan. And then from there, they can sort of do their own concepts for original cards. Like that would be cool. And it wouldn't be like, you know, original forms or, you know, what if scenarios. I mean, I guess it would be kind of what if scenarios, but it wouldn't be introducing any new characters, original characters, any original forms or anything like that. Because Heroes does, like, you know, Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4s or Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Vegeta. Like, it wouldn't do any of that stuff. It would just be, you know, canon characters like, you know, Super Saiyan Blue Goku, Super Saiyan 4 Goku. I mean, if you want to call him canon, but you know, he's not an original character. But it would be taking those characters and using them in, you know, creative and original ways that they haven't been used in Dokkan before. I think that would be a really cool idea. Let's see. Yep, another friend system comment. More original cards that interact with the orb field in different ways. Maybe make their own special type of orbs that do stuff. For example, a Janemba that gets 5% dodge per jelly bean orb. I'm actually, yeah, I've been thinking about that too, because in the last survey they released, actually, I think it was the $300 million celebration survey. One of the questions they asked was like, how would you like to see Dokkan improve? Which is actually very similar to what I'm asking here. And one of the options they gave was, I want to see characters that interact with the orb field in a different way, which was interesting. And I was sitting down and I was thinking about what that even meant. And I'm like, okay, that would be cool, because there's actually a lot they can do with the orb field, because, it's actually, people always make the joke like, oh, it's, Dokkan is just Dragon Ball Candy Crush. Well, in a way it kind of is, but in a way they haven't really explored that aspect of the game that much, right? Like, take a lot of those attributes we've seen from a lot of other games that have like a similar Candy Crush-esque style to them. What if there's characters they release that, I don't know, can skip a row of orbs or something like that? Like, you click on, let's say you're using a tech unit, you click on a tech orb in the first row of orbs. Generally, you have to connect all the orbs to each other for them to, burst with each other. What if you could just skip rows and they'll be able to get tech orbs that are like not connected or something like that? What if you can, I don't know, what if you can burst with rainbow orbs? What if there's a character they introduced that can burst with rainbow orbs? Because generally that's not something that you can do in this game. Like, there's a lot of different things they could do with the orb field that I think could make this game a lot more interesting and spice things up a little bit that they haven't really explored in the 6 years that this game has been out. Which, I don't know, I think it would be cool to do that. I don't know, like, what are some other examples? Let me just think about this for a second. Like, if you only grab the orbs on the left with a character, he gets extra bonuses. Like, if you grab the leftmost orbs every single time with a character, he gets an extra 20% attack and defense every single time you grab the left orbs. Like, that'd be interesting. I don't know. Stuff like that. Auto button for super easy grindy events like story battles or prime battles. I'm fine if it's not implemented in all content because I still want to play the game, but if I prove I can clear it in 30 seconds, I should just be able to tap one button and get the drop rewards. That's a very similar concept to skip tickets, and I'm very, very hesitant to implement skip tickets into a game like Dokkan, because the entire game is pretty much just a grind fest, right? Dokkan is not a game where you oh, I have to go grind this event so that I can power up and do PvP. Like, Dokkan, like, the entire game is pretty much just a grind, with the exception of, like, Super Battle Road and those difficult events, right? So, I don't know if I would be comfortable implementing skip tickets or, like, a skip button in terms of, like, events or an auto mode into Dokkan. I just don't think it would suit the actual goal of what the game's trying to do, but I definitely understand people who want that in the game. Okay, another friend system comment. I think we'll do like one more here. I want to see a game mode that allows you to like move your characters, like a run mode, or even a different way to fight, but at least a mode that allows you to use your characters to attack with, and not just the standard card super attack animations. I mean, that's just like a completely different mode. Like, the closest we have to that in this game is Battlefield 1.0, like just a completely different way to play the game, pretty much, right? And I definitely understand people who want that, but we'll see if they want to do that. It sounds like through some of the survey responses that they offered for us for questions related to that, it sounds like they are open to the idea, but I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure how soon that would come, but I can definitely see that, though. That's pretty much all we're going to do in terms of the responses here. Let me know down below what you guys thought of this kind of video. Do you want to see more of this in the future? Again, the only reason why I'm really doing this is just because this is like mega long, and there's my final copy of Goku and Piccolo finally. It took like 500 million stones. Here are all the featured units that I pulled on the banner. Are there enough AGL Krillins? Come on, like, is this for real? And then I'm going to go collect all my gold coins from my gift box after this, but again, I want to hear your guys' thoughts on what you would like to see Dokkan improve on. It could be anything. I don't know. It could be stupid. It could be cool. Whatever you want to do. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you all in the next one.